Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Aziza. I help you embrace your growth journey and create your dream life by sharing tips, knowledge, experiences, and research. In this video, I'm going to share with you a recap of last year, 2025, which is the year where I dived in, like full body diving in inner work and growth, personal growth, reading 5 to 8 books per month about self-improvement and self-development and research and study neuroscience and how our body functions. It was a pivotal, transformative year to say the least. And after sharing what I learned and the breakthroughs that I had, I want to share with you the lessons that I'm taking with me for this new year and that I intend to go even deeper on, expand, and continue creating my dream life. So first of all, Happy New Year. I hope you guys had an amazing holidays. I missed you guys. I missed filming. I missed this. I missed it so much. I was traveling for the last 2 months of 2025 in Europe and in Africa, where my mom side of the family is. These 2 months that I spent overseas, not at home, not in my routine, not in my environment, transformed me. It was like the logical end of my year of studying and doing inner work and focusing on myself and isolating. I literally isolated like never before last year, maybe to a point where it got unhealthy. But after 10 months of being on my own at home in my environment and being very disciplined and building routines, new habits, and focusing on me, on my health, on my healing, on my growth, on my limiting beliefs, working on all these things and then going back home for 2 months and being with family in my roots, in my original environment, familiar environment, where really all my minds and thoughts and beliefs were created, were absorbed, were birthed. I went back to the source of who I was and of my beliefs and my patterns. It was very interesting. It was also very challenging because I became a new person last year. Because of inner work and self-development, it brought me to introspect. It brought me to looking inward very intentionally and become aware. Something that I've honestly never done. Last year was my first year of me truly analyzing almost everything that I was doing and thinking and surrounded by, and applying all the new knowledge that I was gaining through the books and the seminars and the podcasts and the research. I transformed internally, right? But I transformed in my cocoon. I transformed in my home. I transformed here. I transformed by myself in my place in LA, where I built my new life when I moved here 10 years ago. I transformed in this realm, in this reality, right? And then I go back home and I'm surrounded by family members and childhood friends who know another version of me, the old version of me. So going back home literally triggered everything that I worked through, everything that I broke free from, everything. It triggered every single aspect of my old identity slash new identity. Everything was pulling me back, from the friends to the family members. It triggered everything, even the environment. I went to my city where I'm from and where I was raised and where I grew up until I was in my early 20s. I was in Algeria, where my family were literally all my childhood memories of vacation were there at my family in Africa. So I was pulled back to my old self like never before. And the thing is, I became so aware and I became so in tune and I became so analytical that I was observing everything at the same time as it was happening. This like observer angle, it's like I'm a falcon now. I have like a crazy vision, okay? I can see through walls at this point. This observer awareness and ability to distance myself, to take a step back from a situation, from something that is happening in the present moment right now, taking a step back from my own thoughts process, from my own emotions, what is happening right now. This ability and skill I developed through my inner work journey that I've done the whole year 2025. So that's the biggest plus of 2035. That brings me to the benefits and the lessons and the skills that I gained through inner work and through personal growth and personal development. It's becoming aware and becoming present and being able to become observer instead of absorber. You gain the skill to distance from what is happening and from your emotions. You are able to pause in time and reflect, not react. That was great. I got extremely sick, which I believe is a part of the process. I believe that it was meant to happen for me to release the old version of me. I was forced to stop everything. I was forced to stop. Like I could not even sleep. That's how much in pain I was. It lasted 3 weeks, very long, but at the same time, it didn't feel that long. I was so sick. I could not sleep. I could not eat. I could not talk. My throat was hurting me. My throat was where it started and what was the most painful. I could not talk or swallow my saliva without being in extreme pain. I was so congested. My sinuses were so congested that I had a permanent migraine. It was very insane and very intense. And it forced me to isolate, even though I was surrounded by people, even though I went back home to spend time with my family, to spend the most time with my family possible. I was forced to isolate because I didn't want to get them sick and because I did not have the energy to be around anybody. I didn't even have the energy to watch something. I didn't have the energy to listen to something or to read books. Like I was exhausted. And I think it was me purging my old self. I think it was my old self literally getting out of me. Because while I was there and while I was pulled back to my old version, to the version of me of the years before last year, before me outgrowing this version of me and transforming. Well, as I was pulled back, I was fighting. Like I had to fight my own family, but everything was internal. Everything was in my head because I can't even tell them and explain them how I transformed and how this and this is a pattern and it doesn't serve me anymore. And it's a role that they gave me that I took, or it's beliefs that I created in my mind when I was 5 years old because I didn't know any better. I couldn't explain all that, and even if I did, because I could have, but I didn't want to, and even if I did explain, my transformation doesn't mean they transformed. So basically it was like, I'm not going to spend time explaining and trying to make them understand things that it took me a year to understand and to transform within me. And I also understood that I was on a different timeline. I was on a different frequency. I outgrow certain things that they are still in, that are still identifying as, they are still believing in as the norm, as the possible. They are still in certain limiting beliefs that I shed off. So it was like a war. It was an internal mental war. I was facing with old patterns, with old limiting beliefs, with old energies, with old walls, with old versions of me, or old identities of me, of myself. And at the same time, as I was facing those, I had to stop them from sucking me in. And I had to do all this in my head and applying everything that I've learned setting boundaries, honoring myself, saying no when I don't feel like doing the thing, or saying no and protecting my energy and time and presence, allowing only certain things to enter my energy field, my mind. I had to do extreme work. It required a lot of energy, and I think that's probably why also I got sick towards the end of the trip, because my body was like, girl, we cannot do this anymore. You gotta go home. This is not good, okay? No, I'm just kidding. It was amazing. I do believe it was meant to be that way. It went exactly how it was meant to be. I do believe that I made the most out of it, and I did the best that I could with everything that I had. And I was able to enjoy my family. I was able to make peace with a lot of things. I was able to go even deeper in my grieving process of my old self, but also of my mom, also of my grandparents. It was just great. It was really, really great. I'm very grateful. That was the end of my year. That was the holiday season for me. So the major lessons that I take with me from 2025 to this new year, 2026, which is our year where we're getting everything we desire and more, is that I don't people please anymore. Do not say yes to things that are not aligned with you, that don't honor your emotion. Don't go against self-honoring to people please. Don't go against your own emotions, situations, needs, desires, beliefs, just to please people because you are scared. You are scared of rejection. You are scared of confrontation. You are scared of disappointing others. You are scared of being loved less. You are scared of abandonment. Don't abandon yourself. How about that? How about you do not abandon yourself by betraying yourself and people pleasing? So this is one of the most important lessons of 2025 that I'm absolutely taking with me on 2026. I don't people please anymore. I honor myself and I take myself into consideration before I say yes to something. And I don't hesitate anymore to say no. And I also don't over explain, like stop over explaining yourself. Another major lesson that I'm taking with me in 2026 is the importance of your environment and how you curate your environment. You do have control over your environment. I was in homes with like 8 people. I was in homes with 12 people, with kids, with people, with arguments, with different energies, different dynamics, all type of situations going on. I was able to still recenter myself, isolate myself, give myself a few minutes of silence, go in the bathroom, tell people don't talk to me for the rest of the day. You are not a victim of your environment and of your surroundings. You have power. You have power to protect your energy, to protect your space, and to give yourself what you need. Stillness and silence and curating calm within is very affected by your environment, but you can control your environment. You can decide to go outside for a walk in nature somewhere, to be isolated from people at home that are draining your energy. So we are not victims. That's one of the lessons that I'm taking to 2026 is no matter where I am, I'm protecting myself and I'm curating my environment. It doesn't matter where I am. I'm creating my environment. I'm making the decisions and I'm taking the actions necessary to give myself the space and the time that I need to regulate my nervous system, to calm myself down, to find the peace that I need. I am not a victim of my environment. Third major key that I'm taking with me in 2026 is to keep believing and keep doing the work. Staying consistent, consistency is truly key. I'm a content creator and I traveled for 2 months. And that was my first time being in a situation like this, where I'm not going to be at home for 2 months and where being consistent on social media is extremely important. It is key. I worked relentlessly before leaving so I could ensure that I would have the content needed to guarantee that I would be consistent during my trips. Anticipating and preparing is a part of consistency, is a part of moving forward and getting the results that you desire. That's a major lesson that I'm taking with me in 2026 and that I will apply again and again and again in any situations, is to be proactive, prepare, and make sure that my consistency is always present. And lastly, key lesson that I'm taking with me. It's not really a lesson, it's more a realization that I had literally a few days ago. Inner work and personal growth and self-development, right? This journey you are on to become the best version of yourself, to become the future you that has everything that you want. It's cool and all to tap inside, to look inward and to introspect and to do inner work. But the spirituality, mental work, implementing routines and building a new routine, a new life, it quickly becomes your new comfort zone. It quickly becomes your new plateau that you have to outgrow now. That's what happened to me. When I came back, I was confused and lost. First of all, because I was like, damn, now I shed all those old identities. I'm really a new me. But this new me, I don't really know her fully yet. I have to align with her. I have to embody her. But it takes time. I got overwhelmed. I came back and I was like, damn, like, what am I doing? And I started doubting everything. The last week, honestly, I've been here for 7 days. The last 7 days have been hectic, have been a roller coaster, emotional roller coaster. I almost cried every single day. I almost had a breakdown every single day since I got here. First of all, it's because I am way too hard on myself. I just came to that realization yesterday where I was like, I'm putting so much pressure on myself. And this pressure do not exist. I am creating this pressure in my head and I'm putting this pressure on me. Yes, I have goals to achieve. Yes, I have responsibility to honor. Yes, I have needs and I have things that do have certain dates, right? But 1 week, a few days is not going to change my life. It's not going to destroy my life and everything that I've built. No. I had to realize that. I had to realize that I was being way too hard on myself, that I've been only here for 7 days and I need adjustment to the jet lag and the time zone that I have to now adapt to. And I need time to also embody my new self and receive the ideas, receive the creative flow, receive the guidance, the inner guidance that are going to help me move forward and embody that new self that I am becoming and that I am constantly becoming. So I realized that, but I also really realized something is that inner work and personal work is amazing and I think it never stops. I think we always hit a kind of a plateau where it's like our new comfort zone. That was my new comfort zone. Discipline, isolation, and inner work and routines were my new comfort zone. I was locked in this so much that I wasn't even doing the things that I need to do to reach my goals. Yes, this is a part of it, but that's not just it. It's not because I meditate and journal and go in nature and read self-help books and study neuroscience, cut off the negative people and control my thoughts and repulse negative energy and eat healthy and blah, blah, blah. That's it. My dream life is it? No, it's not. It's not. And this is not gonna take me there. This is a part of it. This is a piece of the puzzle. Really, life is just a giant freaking puzzle. And each step is one piece of the puzzle. And so, yes, although I completed this area of this giant puzzle, well, bitch, you have more work to do. You have more puzzles, pieces to assemble and connect and continue painting the huge picture of your dream life and experience it, of course. So I realized that I was in a new comfort zone. And yes, although it's a better one than the one before and it's a healthier one and blah, 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 and it's serving me and it's good, it has its limits. It has its limits. And now I need to push the limits. I need to stretch that band. That's where I'm at. And I'm excited. I'm excited to discover new puzzle pieces through intuition and inner guidance and creativity and opportunities and people and everything that channels things that we encounter and create and experience. But I'm also really excited to connect them and assemble them and have more and more clarity about what I want, about where I'm going, being more present and appreciating. Those things make you appreciate certain things way more and value certain things way more than maybe you didn't before. Going back home and being with my childhood friends and seeing how, damn, like she really loves me. Like this is unconditional love. Like I do have people that unconditionally love me. This shit exists. I always loved her and I always cherished our friendship and I always expressed it to her and showed it in my way of being, in my way of nurturing that friendship. But that work, that inner work, that growth, that new version of me, that me being more present, that me being more aware, then it also brought so much more gratitude and appreciation because I shed a lot of old identities and I let go of a lot of things that didn't serve me, including people pleasing. I also shed off a lot of misaligned relationships and mainly friendship that meant a lot to me, and it was really hard. It was extremely difficult. But then I went home and I saw that, well, that new self that I am, with the boundaries that I have, with the self-honoring that I'm applying now, it's irrelevant. Like my friend is not even this, there's no difference for her. There's absolutely no difference for her. So it really brought much more appreciation to and valuing a lot of deep core values that I always had that are now even more anchored in me and that I value even more, and that I'm really excited to grow and to witness and experience being in more places in my life, if that makes sense. So yeah, that was my year. That was 2025. And now we are entering 2026 on a good note. Although I really went through it, that jump from end of 2025 to beginning of 2026, man, it was like a tornado in the ocean. That's how it felt. But I feel better now. I'm excited. I'm excited to continue sharing my experiences, tips, tricks, motivation, and encouragement with you, grow with you, share, create a community, and create our dream life. Because again, we are not made and we are not here to struggle and to be miserable and to be stressed and negative all the time. And no, we are not. We are here to enjoy life. Life is meant to be good. It's not meant to be freaking torture and the worst thing you can think of. It's not, and it's up to us to make it good and to build the person that lives their best life. That's what we're doing. 2026, we are not stopping inner work, but we are also taking actions. That's the last thing that I will say that I didn't get to finish. My last point is that realizing that I'm a new plateau of discipline and all the things that I've learned during my last year of inner work. Well, now it's time to take it up a notch. Now it's time to, okay, you have dreams and you have goals and you have this dream life you building and this dream self that you aspire to become and all those amazing things that you want to do and experience in your life. Well, it's time to get things started. It's time to put the book down for a little bit and take actions. What are the next steps? What are the things that gonna take you there? That's what I also did the last week or so, is writing down a bunch of ideas and a bunch of steps that will take me to where I want to go. That's it for now. I'm so happy to be back. I missed y'all and I'm excited. I'm excited for this year. So have an amazing day and I'll talk to you very soon. Mwah.